I think insofar as the LGBTQ population is concerned, particularly transgendered population, this has become more of a hot topic, and gender identity this is like a hot topic now, where LBG has been dealt with to a certain degree. And we get caught up in how do we address someone who is transitioning or not transitioning, but identifies as a transgendered person. And I think the important thing to recognize is very simply that it's like you're learning it for the first time. When we learn new lessons, it takes us a while to get used to. And we are socialized that there are two distinct gender identities, male and female, and there is no in between. We don't want to recognize that there's fluidity in that identity. Just like race is a social construct, gender identity is a social construct, or gender is a social construct. Certainly there are, XY chromosomes, the whole 9 yards, but when it comes down to a person's belief as to who they know they are, that's difficult for people who identify as the prescribed gender to stomach. It's difficult. Difficult doesn't mean it's impossible to work with, and I think it comes with practice. And I think that, if one wants to be identified who has the biological characteristics of a female, but has a gender identity of that of a male, that person's pronoun are he, him, and his. But it's difficult for us when our eyes see the physical representation to trans over to the he, him, or his. But from the other perspective, that person who is transgendered is frustrated. So they might react very strongly when the pronouns are missed. And the way to deal with that is, again, to apologize. I'm socialized and I'm conditioned that when I see a she, a physical she, I say she. I recognize the fact that you want to be identified as he, him, or his, and I will try my best to do that, but I will be in error because it takes a while to unlearn what I've learned, what society has taught me. People have different feelings about the use of labels. There are some people that don't want to be labeled, and then there are some people that feel strongly that they should be labeled. I think from my experience, persons who want to be labeled, for example, I want to be labeled as a Black woman because I want to own that, I want to validate that, and I want the people I interact with to validate that. I am a Black woman. When you see me, that's what you see. But the other side of the coin is some people don't want to be labeled because they don't want to be put in categories. When we put people in categories, we ascribe behaviors for that category. We ascribe expectations for that category. So if you identify as this thing, if you do anything outside the norm of this identity, then there's a problem. People should have the opportunity to pick and choose whether they want to identify and how it is that they want to identify. And it becomes the work of those with cultural humility to do this. It becomes their job to take the time to think about asking people how they want to be identified. And if they say, I don't want to be identified as anything, then we roll with that. It's just you and me.